Preliminary results from a Nebraska Extension survey indicate more than half of Nebraska's ag producers have a written succession plan for their operation. That level of planning is far higher than what the USDA found in 2013. The agency's Economic Research Service said then 29% of farms had succession plans, perhaps concerning given the demographics. In 2014, nearly a third of U.S. farm operators were at least 65 years old. Nebraska Extension educator Allan Vyhnalek helped conduct the online survey. We talked with him this week about why he thought the information would be useful.
So I started a new job, got moved from Columbus to campus last July, and I'm working on farm succession and farm transfer. And so for me, I was interested in doing a study of some sort to figure out where Nebraska was at in terms of what was happening with people's plans for farm succession and transfer. The only data I had was from Iowa State, and it's getting to be a little bit dated, so I wanted to see how we could compare to what Iowa had collected 3 years ago.
And what did your results show as far as when producers in this state are planning to retire?
In some cases, they don't plan to retire. As a matter of fact, we only had like 35% that said they'd plan to retire, and another 54% that said they're never going to fully retire from farming. Interestingly enough, the Iowa State study shows that it was about 60% that don't ever fully plan to retire from farming. And so actually the two studies aren't that far off in terms of what we found that farmers were saying.
What was the reason that they didn't plan to retire?
They didn't plan to fully retire, mostly because they have a difficult time giving up control of the farm. That was their life. That was their thing. That's all they ever known. The modern farm equipment said, and that was 75% of the people said that. Modern farm equipment, almost 70% said the modern farm equipment with self-guidance and things like that is allowing them to farm longer with less physical problems, and so that was the reason they were sticking with it. 66% relate retirement to their own mortality. So they didn't want to retire because they'd have to think about death. They'd have to think about not being here. And so they say, well, no, I don't want to think about that. I'm going to keep going. And another 62% felt they couldn't afford to retire, which I think is interesting. And we'd like to know more about that, but we don't right now. And 60% are not retiring or have plans to retire because they have a healthier or longer life than their parents did, for instance.
I want to ask you a follow-up question about the technological aspect. The crop and livestock industries, they're almost different now, especially during winter with what producers are going through. How many of your respondents were crop producers, crop and livestock producers, or just livestock producers?
I think that, I don't know that we had anybody say that they were just livestock producers. We had about 55 or 60% say they were just crops, and another about 30 or 35 that said they were crops and livestock.
How many of your participants had a written succession plan?
Just over half, about 51 or 52%, which means what? 48 or 49% don't have a written plan. However, they said, I need to get one. So we asked a third question there. Do you have a plan? Yes. Do you not have a plan? No. And the third part of that was, do you have a plan, but you know you need one? Well, at least they said they knew they needed one instead of saying, no, but I do need one. I don't think I'll ever need one. They at least said that they're going to need one.
Who's the successor in these plans?
When you had a plan put in place and you have a successor identified, the people that responded said 87% of their children were their successors, primarily going to family members.
And that's not surprising.
No, not at all. If you've got a successor, then right now in today's age, it's going to a kid.
One of the interesting things I thought was 55% said they would retire at a later age, or maybe not at all, because they don't have a successor. That brings up a challenging question about how you even get a successor or find what to do with the operation.
Yeah, it's a challenge, because what I'm finding in talking to people in their kitchens is that in some cases you don't have enough asset base, especially if you're just crops, to bring a second family back in. I mean, we're talking probably 11 to 1,500 acres to support one family. And if you have another family that you want to bring back into the operation, and that's all you got, it's 11 to 1,500 acres, then bringing that second family, how are you going to pay for the second family to support itself? So that's one issue. And of course, then the second issue is, do you have someone identified, and in some cases not. You know, I know of farmers that have children, but the children have all gone their way and they're all successful and they have no intention of coming back to a farm. Well, it breaks people's heart, but you don't have a successor.
You said one of the questions that you wish you would have asked was, who is in your planning team. Why is that important?
Well, yeah, I asked him, who are you talking to about making decisions about your asset management? And people talked about themselves, their spouse, and their children. But I wish I would have asked him who else they're using, because as I teach my succession efforts or do my succession teaching, I'm talking about the fact that you probably need, for sure, you need a lawyer. You probably need a financial counselor or financial advisor. You probably need an insurance person. You probably need your CPA. And you probably have to work with your ag bankers. Those are your 5 key team members that you have to have to, you don't have to have them, you can have what you want. But the point is, those are the ones that are suggested typically to help you make your decisions about what you're going to do with your assets.